Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Crafty Maker podcast. This is a podcast all about crafting and knitting and crochet and living a crafty life. So I have tried my hardest to stick to the 2-week promise that I said, and it's been about just over 2.5 weeks. So I've done really well, I think. I have been crazy busy and I'm trying to get stuff done for Christmas, which is a nightmare, as you all know. So I've had quite a lot of knitting time. I've got 3 finished objects and 3 whips, all of which have been very enjoyable to knit on. And yeah, so first off, I have a new mug. This is from Asda here in the UK, which is also the daughter company of Walmart in America. But yeah, Asda's massive here in the UK. And these were on display as part of the Christmas decorations, and I couldn't resist because it looks like Nordic stars. I have regular coffee in here because it's been a very long day. It's currently 9 PM here. So I want to get this filmed and uploaded because this is the second time that I've filmed this podcast, because the first time wasn't recording. So I sat here babbling on for ages and wasn't recording. If you have noticed, I dyed my hair because I was looking very straggly on the last podcast. Anybody's interested, this is how my hair is before I straighten it, because I work in a kitchen, there's no point me straightening it in the week, and then by the time Saturday comes around and I get my 1 day off a week, I just can't be bothered. So yeah, my first finished object that I finished is a scarf. So this is a little crocheted scarf that I made for Harry. If you can't see, there is a Christmas tree there. Yeah, little crocheted scarf that I crocheted for Harry because the boy likes to lose them and the boy likes to put holes in them. So I made him one last year for last winter, and he decided to walk into the cupboard and rip a massive great big hole in it, and it just wasn't worth saving. So I crocheted him a new one when the weather started to get colder, just out of acrylic, and this is a 4.5mm hook, and that's it. I just chained, don't really use a pattern, just chained the length that I wanted, which is normally for Harry, it's about, I don't know, my wingspan, and did, there's my camera, half double crochets. I had to flip my camera around because it's charging and my cord isn't long enough to reach, because as you can see, I've had to, this is where my table is normally, and I've had to move everything around because of this thing, because it wouldn't fit in the normal corner, and I nearly put my back out last year. Over that corner there is a massive great big oak cupboard, and I nearly put my back out trying to move it last year, and I says no, I'm not going to do it this year. So my 2 sofas got moved instead, and I think I actually like it better than what I had before. So yeah, my plug is where my Christmas tree is, and my cable isn't long enough to fit where I would normally fit, so my camera's the other way around. But yeah, this is my crocheted scarf for Harry because it's too cold to be without a scarf, and I don't want him to get poorly again. Harry suffers quite badly with recurrent ear infections all the time, and not last year, the year before, he got really poorly and he got tonsillitis. So, overbearing mother of the year award, because he is wrapped up tight every single day. As much as he hates it, because I am not having tonsillitis again. Trying to force feed a 4 going on 5-year-old at the time penicillin is not fun. But yeah, digressing from the fact, I also knit a hat. This hat, if you haven't seen it, where have you been living? You've been living under a rock for the last 3-4 years. This is the Hermione Hearts Run pattern, and it's a cable and eyelet knit hat. And this is very, very similar, even though the gauge is different, to the hat that Hermione wears in the Deathly Hallows. Don't quote me on that, it's been a very long time since I've seen them. Speaking of Deathly Hallows, completely gone. Train of thought's completely gone. But yeah, Hermione Hearts Run pattern. It's just a simple 3x3? Yeah, 3x3 cable with eyelets in between. And I've knit this pattern before. It's a thoroughly enjoyable knit. I actually enjoyed knitting this one more because the first one that I knit it continental, and trying to cable continental and purl continental when I was knitting continental is so hard. So now I'm back to being a righty. I knit it again. Shall we? That's how it looks on. There you go. I knit this slightly bigger than what the pattern called for, because obviously I wanted a little bit of slouch to it. And I did, sorry, I forgot the pattern designer's name. Christy Owlsworth. I knit this on a 4mm needle and just in cheap DK, because not all people who I knit for are knit savvy. So trying to explain to somebody about taking care of wool doesn't always go down well. And a lot of times people call me and go, you know that thing that you made me? Well, I kind of did something to it. So cheap acrylic DK for gifts is awesome because it takes no care, it lasts forever, and it's really cheap, which Mama likes. Mama likes cheap. So yeah, Hermione Hearts Run hat pattern. And then finally, for my finished objects, I only went and finished my flak sweater. So if you remember, I was about here on the sleeve, and I was a silly person and ended up knitting the sleeve about 1.5 inches too short for my arm, because I don't measure my arms when I'm knitting sleeves. I just knit until I get bored. But yeah, I had to frog it back, so I just cut the ribbon and just pulled it all out, and then just knit it a bit longer, and I decreased I think 2 or 3 times more, because it wasn't, to me, a jumper, if you're going to knit it long sleeves, has to be not snug, but it has to be close enough here to keep the draft out. And obviously the number that I got down to in the pattern, it was still that much too gappy around my wrist. So yeah, I just decreased a few more times. But yeah, loved it. I've actually worn it already. Oh, my foot's gone to sleep. Yeah, I've actually worn it already, and excuse me, yeah, I've actually worn it already, and it is very, very warm. Even though it's 70% acrylic, it's very, very warm, and it kept me very warm the other day when I was standing outside in the rain to go and pick Harry up from school. But But yeah, it's fantastic pattern. Tinker knits. Her math and sizing that she does is incredible. And to say that it's a free pattern, it's awesome. Yep, that's about it for this. I would put it on, but my heating's on because it's cold in here and I will melt if I put it on. So, oh, my foot's gone to sleep. My foot's gone to sleep. Right, that is all my finished objects at the moment. I am close, nearly close, this close to finishing another, but not quite. So on to whips, I suppose. If you remember last time, knitting a pair of socks, still knitting those socks. I had a very, very rare night off with Ian, and we went to see Bohemian Rhapsody. And if you don't know, or people that do know me in real life, I am a massive, massive Queen fan. And Ian and I went on a random Saturday afternoon because Harry was with his dad, and we went and saw it, and I got all this done in the cinemas, and we were the two really annoying ones that were singing all the songs because I am a nutter. But yeah, so where I was on these ones with my little tomato from the corner craft, because I can't mention a podcast without mentioning one of Hannah's stitch markers, because she's awesome sauce. Yeah, this is where I was, and I knit all this in the cinema. And then the other one, I am virtually ready to pop the toe in, pretty much. Oh, so many cables and needles, but yeah, virtually ready to put the toe in. Again, I did this in the cinema, watching Bohemian Rhapsody. So if you haven't seen it yet, I do highly recommend that you go and see it, because it is an amazing film. Rami Malek, who plays Freddie, he has got him hands down spot on. Nearly identical to Freddie in real life. I won't go on too much about it because obviously it's not everybody that's been to see it yet, but it was well worth the 20 quid to go and see it. Well worth it. And Ian and I, due to circumstances in our personal lives, we don't get to go out very often. We don't get to spend a lot of time together very often. So it was nice to go and do a coupley thing instead of being mum and stepdad and child. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I got lots of knitting done, even though I had to try and pick up a stitch that I dropped in the dark, which wasn't fun. So I had to kind of leave it and do it when I got home. Oh dear me. So yeah, that's socks done. Focus. There we go. I have got my shawl. This is my Rick Raccoon bag with the Eiffel Towers on, and I was knitting in this bag my If I Want Exposure I'll Get My Tits Out collective shawl. I know I kind of glossed over it on the last episode because I completely forgot that I'd knitted it, and then realised as I was putting everything away to move on, and then I was like, oh crap, I've got this as well. So yeah, this is my If I Want Exposure I'll Get My Tits Out collective shawl. I think I need to put it on a bigger cable because this is my 100 inch or my 100 centimetre, 100 inches, 100 centimetre cable, which is about a 38 inch, yeah. And it's very squished, shall we say. But the brilliant thing about interchangeables is I've got connectors now from my interchangeable set, so I can just connect another cable on and just carry on. These are my Knit Pro Novas. This one's a 4.5mm. The yarn is Sweet Love Designs. Where is my tag gone? There we go. I found it over on eBay, and this is the colour Sprinkles. Because it actually does look like hundreds and thousands. But yeah, I will put my hands up, and I will admit I ballsed up the lace because I got excited watching Criminal Minds and completely forgot what I was doing. So yeah, the blue, this like darker blue, this is Wendy Rome 4-ply in the colour Derwent. So yeah, this is what I'm knitting. This is the third and last lace section, and I have got, excuse my messy cake, this much left of the sprinkles, and then I've got one more edging section to do, which is quite a big chunky one, so I'll probably use most of this. So yeah, and of course, because no project would be complete without your own corner of craft stitch marker, I have a little slice of pepperoni pizza. This was one of her, I think it was ones that she wasn't very happy with, but I love it because I am, if you have pizza, you've got to have pepperoni on it. You can't have anything else. But yeah, I love all their stitch markers. I think they're amazing. I did used to be able to sew jewellery many years ago, but it's not something that I ever kept up. But hey ho. So yeah, if I want exposure, I should get my tits out. And my final whip, this is a Christmas present for my, ooh, there we go, for my neighbour who lives downstairs. I live in a block of flats. Well, it's a maisonette in a block of flats. So I have an upstairs and a downstairs, and I live in a block of flats. Also, speaking of corner craft, if you catched, correct English, Kate, come on. If you caught her Insta stories, she actually featured my hat over on her Instagram stories. So I'd obviously tagged her in my post saying that I was using my narwhal, because I special requested one of these from her many months ago. And yeah, this is another sockhead hat by Kelly McClure, and yeah, the wool is Signet Truly Woolrich in the colour, what colour were we? In the colour 324 Navy. This is your standard sock yarn, 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon, and yeah. So I'm knitting this on a 3mm Addy turbo lace thing. They're called lace in America, and that's the packet that it arrived in off Amazon, because me being me had managed to snap my 3mm clover knitting needle, because my 16-inch circular set that I've got, it's the Clover Tukanumi. Don't hold me to that pronunciation. Yeah, they're like bamboo-y type wooden knitting needles, like the 16-inch circulars. I don't think I've got one to hand. I think they're in my other bag. I think, she says. What have I done with them? What have I done? Oh yeah, I have. Here they are. These are my circulars that I've got, and they're like bamboo, and I'm not really happy with them whenever I knit on them. The cords are fine, but obviously I'm a speedy knitter, so I like metal ones better. But they were cheap years and years ago when I brought them, when I was starting knitting hats. So yeah, I treated myself and I brought myself some metal addy ones, and I was contemplating buying the 16-inch interchangeable set from Knit Picks because it's only £40 on Amazon at the minute. But I'm having a feeling that after Christmas it'll probably drop in price a little bit. And they are just the smaller tips with the 2 cords to make it 16 inches. Because I can never find a 16-inch when I need it. And they are perfect for knitting hats because I can put that down and I know that I'm probably not going to lose any stitches. But yeah, I treated myself to a Addy lace, red lace, white bronze knitting needles, and they were dirt cheap on Amazon. They were only about £4, which I think is good for a 16-inch circular. But yeah, this is going to be probably a not so slouchy hat. And I also have a nice vibrant pom-pom to go on it because I thought, yeah, why not? Because Erica, my neighbour who lives downstairs, she takes in a lot of my crap that I order from Amazon. So she's been begging for a hat for a while, and I never got around to doing it. Obviously with Ian's sister having a baby and my sister having a baby and trying to knit things for other people, it wasn't just something that was on my priorities. So I bit the bullet and cast it on, and it's been my TV knitting for the time being, because it's pretty much that it's pretty zen that I don't have to really look at what I'm doing, and because it's only stockinette, it's awesome. Oh dearie me. So yeah, that's it all for my knitting-y content. I do have some stash that I probably shouldn't have bought, and I probably shouldn't have bought the one that's in the post on its way. I was naughty and brought some D-stash off a lady off eBay. So I finally managed to get my hands on some Nora George. It's like a champagne-y coloured yarn with the speckles and the stellina in it, and it was a lady who's de-stashing just loads and loads of indie dyed yarns. So yeah, I've got that coming, but it hasn't arrived. It was meant to arrive today and it hasn't. So I've been on the lookout for the West Yorkshire Spinners Christmas yarns, because when I buy the other one, because I've got last year's, I've got Candy Cane, but I haven't got Hollyberry, but my yarn shop hasn't got it in at the moment, because West Yorkshire Spinners is predominantly the only sock yarn that my yarn shop sells. She does a lot of acrylic-y based yarns and like Sirdar Snuggly. So everything that I knit in Sirdar Snuggly comes from my local yarn shop. But yeah, I managed to get my fairy lights. Excuse me. So I managed to find it. Online, and it wasn't that much more expensive than what I would have paid in my yarn shop anyway. And mine came with the free pattern to make the socks on it, but the pattern really confused me. It listed 3 balls of yarn to knit the socks with, which didn't occur to me at the time to be like, well, why is the 3 balls of yarn? It listed a red for the contrasting heels, toes and cuffs, and then it listed like a green. I haven't got the pattern, it's in my folder at the minute, so I'm not going to get up and try and find it. But yeah, it listed a green, so I'd messaged someone who was actually knitting this at the time, and you don't need the green. So I'm like, well, why include the green if you're not going to knit with it? Because the written pattern only lists fairy lights and the red colour, which I think is called paprika. It's something, paprika or cayenne, it's after a spice. But yeah, I've got this to make, when I eventually get round to it, Christmas socks, maybe for next year, because I'm not going to get them done for Christmas this year. I picked up another Wendy Rome. This is fast becoming some of my favourite sock yarn to knit with, because my shawl is Wendy Rome, my sockhead hat is Wendy Rome. This is my sockhead hat that I knit months and months ago. This is, if you can see, it's Windermere, which is like a pinky purpley colour, and this has been in the wash, doesn't pill, well, as far as I've seen. It keeps its shape really nice, and I've got another one of these. I don't know what I'm going to make with them yet, but I'm presuming it's going to be a shawl, because I've got several shawl patterns that I want to knit in the new year. So yeah, probably going to be a shawl. Finally, I thought outside the box, and brought a colour that isn't blue, that isn't green, or a mixture of those colours, because you know me, blue, green. I brought this one. This one is King Cole Zigzag in the colour 3160 Plum Wine, if you can see. Come on, focus camera. There you go. 3160 Plum Wine. And this is like another faux Fair Isle effect, stripy. Focus back on me now, that's it. Stripy to do, dealio. Oops. I put my my knee on the cable. So yeah, this is going to be a pair of socks, and it's not a colour that I've got in my collection yet. I've got a lot of blue, I've got 2 pink pairs of socks, I've got a white pair of socks, I haven't got any purple. So yeah, this one comes with, does it come with a pattern inside? No, it doesn't. This one was dirt cheap again off eBay. I think it was about £5 for the ball, which for sock yarn I think is amazing quality. And they make really good socks. I've got my vanilla latte socks that I did in, I think it's Swaledale, is King Cole Zigzag, and I've actually got another ball of this in like a blue and a white and a like a tealy blue colour. So yeah, they're going to be socks for in the future. Don't know when I'm getting around to them, but there will be socks. So yeah. Right, so that is all my foot's gone to sleep. That is all my yarny contributions this week. I am going to try and get another podcast out before Christmas. I'm not going to hold my breath because I break up from work in 2 weeks. I break up from work the 21st. So I'm going to try being the operative word, try and film another podcast before then. But I don't know. I might have a break till after Christmas because I've got a lot of stuff to do. Because Christmas has been all messed up this year. Because Harry's at his dad's, I'm at my parents', and Ian's at work. So we're all not together for Christmas Day. So hopefully I'll get a lot of uninterrupted knitting time. I'm thinking I might take my shawl and just knit away on that. But then my nephew might interrupt me because my nephew's coming around. But yeah, I might try and get another podcast done before Christmas. I'm not going to guarantee it, because you know me and guarantees, it just doesn't happen, does it? But yeah, I hope I haven't waffled on too much this episode. Please feel free to like and subscribe and leave me a comment down below if there's anything that you would like to know. I will be popping the show notes over in Ravelry, or I might do them in the description box. I don't know, haven't decided. Depends on how quickly my computer uploads this. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed chilling out with me for about half hour and doing a little bit of knitting, or just whatever you want to do. So thanks again. Hope you all enjoy. If I don't see you before Christmas, I hope you do have a very Merry Christmas and you get all the things that you're after out of this Christmas period. The last year has really made me appreciate what I've got. The last few years weren't always easy for me. I suffered quite badly with depression a few years ago, and this time of year it does make you appreciate what you've got. You know, I've got, okay, I don't live in the most glamorous of towns or the most glamorous of surroundings, but I've got a roof over my head. I'm able to buy the things that I want to buy. You know, I've got a beautiful son who loves and adores me. I've got a wonderful boyfriend, even though he drives me mental sometimes. Not all the time, just sometimes. But yeah, I hope everybody gets what they are looking for this Christmas, and we all have a nice, joyous occasion. So thank you all again. If I don't see you before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and bye.